Did an ancient city lure Percy Fawcett to his doom? Percy Fawcett's early life was steeped in influences that would stoke the fires of his unquenchable thirst for adventure. Born in Torquay, Devon, on the 18th of August, 1867, Fawcett was part of a family renowned for their explorative endeavors. The Fawcetts, with roots deep in Yorkshire gentry, thrived as shipping magnates in the East Indies, casting a wide net across uncharted waters and distant lands. This legacy of exploration was further enriched by his father, Edward Boyd Fawcett, an esteemed Fellow of the Royal Geographical Society, and his brother, Edward Douglas Fawcett, an adventurer, author, and student of Eastern philosophies. Educated at Newton Abbot Proprietary College, Fawcett later honed his skills at the Royal Military Academy, Woolwich, marking the beginning of his military career. However, it was his enrollment in the Royal Geographical Society in 1901 that truly set the stage for his legendary expeditions. Here he studied the art of surveying and map-making, a pursuit that would eventually lead him to the dense and enigmatic jungles of South America. As the clock ticked on, Fawcett's life was a tapestry woven with tales of distant lands and forgotten cities. But his journey into the heart of the Amazon would prove to be more perilous than any battlefield he had ever known. What awaited the colonel in the depths of the jungle? By 1906, Percy Fawcett was no stranger to uncharted lands. Tasked by the Royal Geographical Society, he embarked on his first South American expedition with a singular mission: to map a region on the Brazil-Bolivia border untouched by modern hands. This journey would mark the beginning of his lifelong obsession with the Amazon's mysteries. Known for his meticulous surveying skills, Fawcett navigated the dense jungle with an unyielding determination. However, his tales from the heart of the Amazon sometimes bordered on the incredible. He spoke of a colossal anaconda stretching 62 feet and elusive creatures that science had yet to acknowledge. Critics scoffed, branding these accounts as the stuff of fantasy. Undeterred, Fawcett pressed on, earning a reputation for his respectful and peaceful interactions with indigenous tribes. His explorations led him to the Rio Verde's hidden source and beyond, where his eyes turned to the whispers of lost cities. By the outbreak of World War I, Fawcett had sketched hundreds of miles of previously uncharted terrain. Yet, the darker corners of the Amazon held secrets more tempting than any mapped river. Deep within, the legend of a lost city, one he named Z, beckoned, and that allure would soon test the limits of his courage and resolve. But what lay hidden in the shadows of his maps? Dead Horse Camp expressed his confidence in the journey, despite acknowledging the challenges ahead. Fawcett's obsession with the mythical city of Z wasn't born out of mere wanderlust. His convictions were rooted deeply in the whispers of ancient tales and documented accounts like the manuscript 512, which spoke of a lost city adorned with arches, statues, and mysterious hieroglyphics. This elusive city, supposedly discovered by a Portuguese explorer in 1753, tantalized Fawcett with its promises of grandeur hidden within the Amazon's impenetrable foliage. Moreover, Fawcett's belief in a sophisticated civilization, potentially rivaling those of the Incas or Mayans, was further fueled by his explorations, where he encountered enigmatic artifacts, including a jade statue he claimed held sway over indigenous tribes. The Amazon, vast and untamed, was a realm of the unknown, and Fawcett was determined to pierce its secrets. As he, Jack, and Ramel ventured deeper, the shadows grew longer, and the jungle's secrets seemed closer than ever. But as they pushed forward, the jungle's mysteries were only deepening. What lay ahead would test not only their physical endurance, but the very essence of Fawcett's beliefs. Would the jungle yield its secrets, or would it swallow them whole? Following World War I, Percy Fawcett was undeterred by previous setbacks and the challenges he had faced. His mind remained fixated on Z, the elusive lost city he believed lay hidden deep within the Amazon. The war had been a detour, but now he was back on track, his determination stronger than ever. His prior claims of encountering anomalous creatures in the dense jungle only fueled his ambitions further. Reinvigorated, Fawcett meticulously planned what would be his ultimate expedition. He was joined by his eldest son, Jack, and Jack's close friend, Raleigh Ramel. This time, Fawcett chose his companions carefully. a small group to minimize the footprint and avoid drawing unwanted attention from potentially hostile indigenous tribes. They were well prepared, carrying essential equipment to tackle the unknown: canned foods, guns, and even a jade statue that Fawcett claimed had supernatural powers over the local tribes. On April 20th, 1925, the trio departed from Cuiabá, Brazil. 2 Brazilian laborers, a pair of horses, mules, and dogs accompanied them, a small entourage for such an ambitious quest. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Fawcett sent his final communication to his wife on May 29th, before he, Jack, and Ramel vanished into the thick, uncharted territory. The jungle beckoned, and with each step a mystery unfolded, a mystery that would remain unsolved for decades. What awaited them in the depths of the Amazon? Dead Horse Camp conveyed optimism, but also the weight of the unknown. Fawcett, with his son Jack and friend Raleigh Ramel, was venturing into a world unmapped and unforgiving. The trio, equipped with essential supplies and a determination that bordered on obsession, left behind civilization and all its certainties. Their destination was a city Fawcett believed lay hidden, a vestige of ancient grandeur he called Z. He carried with him not only the hopes of discovery, but also the superstitions tied to a jade statue, said to hold power over indigenous tribes. Yet this journey was marked by more than just ambition. It was a calculated risk, a step into the abyss where legend and reality blurred. With every mile, the dense Amazon canopy closed in, shrouding them in mystery. As the world waited for news, time slipped away and silence deepened. What secrets did the jungle hold? And more crucially, what did Fawcett and his companions find as they crossed into the heart of the unknown? Soon, the promise of discovery would give way to the haunting enigma of their disappearance, leaving behind a trail colder than the grave. Deep within the Amazon was a brief missive filled with optimism. Fawcett assured his wife that spirits were high and that they were well prepared for the journey ahead. It was a message tinged with the thrill of the unknown, yet it would be the last anyone would ever hear from the intrepid explorer or his young companions. As they ventured past the boundaries of the known world, a profound silence enveloped their trail. The dense foliage and relentless forces of the jungle became their only witnesses. The questions left behind would puzzle admirers and scholars for decades to come. What became of the determined explorer, his son Jack, and their friend Ramel in the depths of the Amazon? Fawcett's disappearance sparked a flurry of speculation. Rumors ranged from deadly encounters with hostile tribes to perilous natural disasters, or even the allure of staying in a newfound paradise. Yet despite countless search efforts and myriad theories, the jungle kept its secrets well hidden. Ahead lay the tales of those who dared to follow in Fawcett's footsteps, each haunted by the specter of the lost colonel, each pulled inexorably toward their own brush with the unknown. Dead Horse Camp described high spirits and determination. Yet that was the last anyone heard from Percy Fawcett and his companions. The dense Amazon swallowed them whole, leaving behind only whispers of their fate. The mystery of Fawcett's final expedition has drawn countless adventurers and investigators into the heart of darkness, each hoping to lift the shroud of uncertainty. Over the decades, numerous parties have ventured into the Amazon, driven by the allure of uncovering what befell the lost colonel. Some uncovered skeletal remains, others claimed to have found artifacts, but conclusive evidence continued to elude them. Theories flourished, weaving tales of hostile tribes, tropical diseases, and even mythical lost cities that might have claimed the explorers. Yet, with every expedition that fails to return with answers, the legend of Percy Fawcett only deepens. His disappearance remains one of exploration's greatest enigmas. Was Fawcett simply a victim of the jungle's perils, or did he uncover something so profound that it was meant to remain hidden? The Amazon keeps its secrets well, leaving us to ponder what truly happened to the lost colonel and his companions.